How are you now?
Howdy.
That's Travis. I'm Kevin, and this is H&H Prospecting. Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you already subscribed, we greatly appreciate you. If you haven't subscribed yet, we hope you like what you see today, and we earn that subscription. Hey, we're back out on Mr. Casey and Family's Claim, doing some dredging today. Make sure you stay tuned to the end. Hopefully find some big chunky nuggets, and we'll show you. I think that's about all I got for right now. Pitter patter, and let's get at her. So unfortunately, while picking plums for our auntie yesterday, I put a nail through my foot, so I will not be getting in the water today. So while Travis goes and gets changed into his wetsuit, let's talk about the setup real quick, talk about and where and why we're dredging. 2-inch Harbor Freight trash pump. Coming off of that is your 2-inch intake. Down in the hole, that 2-inch intake does have a screen on it, helps keep any of the gunk out. Also coming off of that, we go to a 1-inch for our high pressure line right off the bat. That goes down to our 2-inch dredge nozzle. That 2-inch dredge nozzle is connected to a 2-inch hose. And that 2-inch hose comes over to a custom-made crash box and dumps in. Let's talk about this. Now, I've had a lot of recommendations and a lot of advice, and I meant to do it today, but I forgot it. I do have a piece of expanded metal for this that I do plan on putting in here just to help clean those top rocks off. But since I'm not dredging today, I'll just be here picking those big rocks off. But I do want to get that expanded metal there. I think that's a great piece of advice, guys. That way it would cover to about here, and those big rocks should just run right down the sluice. But for now, let's talk about what we do have in here. You got a 1/4-inch screen. You got a piece of miner's moss down underneath that. And honestly, guys, this is just an old barbecue grate that we cut to fit. Same idea. We don't want those big rocks getting stuck in the back of the hopper box here, or your crash box, whatever you want to call it. We just want them getting down the sluice. As we come down the sluice, we are running the gold hogs. I'm still really happy with that. We put 2 other sluices at the end of this sluice, and there was no gold in those. The gold hog came up with 2 large pickers and a couple small flakes out of the same hole that we're in. So in here, running the gold hogs again, 3 talons. Those catch your bigger chunkies, and then the 2 mother loads at the bottom. That helps catch all those small fines and also helps clean out the rest of those blonde sands and catches the last of the black sands coming down the sluice. And oh yeah, of course you also got your dampening mat, and that's just some rubber V matting or siding matting, same matting you see here at the top of the sluice. Rocks are up here just to help hold it in place. The bottom of these gold hog mats are pretty slick, so that is why you see a bungee across the top to help pinch them in. But that is about that. I'll get some of this debris cleared out at the end of my sluice here so my tailings can carry better. Now in this hole that we're already in, we did find two nice sized pickers. I think they were both just under a quarter gram apiece, about 0.22, 0.21, when we came out a couple weekends back. As you can see where the water is starting to come and drop, we have three different sections of flow. You can actually see that two of them come to a point right where our hole is dropping. You have one giant boulder here that Star-Lord's holding down for us. So the water, when it's high, is going to come up over those, hit that, and then you look across the creek, and that's where you start seeing other large boulders deposit. And then we enter another high pressure, high friction zone. And you can almost see it drop right there. So the idea is we're going to go for our hole, get as low as we can, and start working sideways along the creek, and then back down. Just below us, about 20 yards, quite a huge hole that the family's already made, and they have pulled up to, I think the biggest nugget they pulled out so far was just under a gram at 0.96. So we know that there's some big gold here, we just got to get lower. Their hole's 4.5, 5 feet deep. I think ours is only 2.5. So get down to that bedrock and hopefully find some nice chunky. Can't get that shiny sitting on your hiney. Alright, Cass has got his wetsuit on. This is basically how you start the day when you get back into an old hole. He's going to go in there and pull all the bigger rocks that he can by hand, make room for his dredge nozzle, roll out a lift out motor, and hopefully he'll get some nice shiny. We'll throw the underwater camera down there too, show that dredge nozzle in action. Gonna be a good day, Mater. So just real quick here, sorry if I get your screen name wrong here, buddy. I believe it was Heavy Meadow Detecting that had mentioned something about the speed of the sluice. And I had made a comment to you, bud, saying that usually when I'm recording the sluice, the water speed down. So just so you guys can see. And he made a very good point, by the way, saying that the water wasn't going fast enough down the sluice, so it wasn't carrying those big rocks. So when the sluice is actually ripping and not full, hose not full of product. See, and this is my concern too of why I want to get that jet flare, guys. You can see it's kind of slows down a little bit here, and then Travis will bring that hose back up. See, and then boom, now it starts cruising again. So that's why I got to get that expanded metal in there. And I think with that jet flare on the back, because your high pressure comes in right here instead of down to the dredge nozzle. So that'll allow the same constant flow of water even if you get a clog down at your dredge nozzle. So just little things that we got to change and work on. I think that expanded metal would really help. We looked into getting one of those jet flares, but unfortunately due to COVID, Keen couldn't even give an answer as far as when they'd even be able to start manufacturing again. So until then, we run what we got and hope we catch as much shiny as possible. Tell you guys what, I definitely feel like a foreman today. Over here chilling, just enjoying my nice banana muffin. Travis has got the goggles, the snorkel. He's getting it. He's getting that shiny. He's busting his hiney. He's not sitting on his hiney. What are you doing? You know, gold's over $2,000 an ounce. You should be going and getting some gold too. Just saying. You do you though, boo. Leave the rest of it for us. Uh-oh. Something that I want to mention that I'm really digging today, kind of making my life a lot easier. So, oh, excuse me, Mr. B, be gone. Might make your life a little bit easier too. You see the sluice is actually up and off the ground, still in the creek, still in the creek. But luckily, the creek has a natural downfall. So with the sluice being set up like that, I'm not sitting here having to fight and clean out my tailings and worrying about it back up the sluice. And it's just cleaning out just fine. And where we're sitting, I'm not dirtying up my neighbor's dredge hole down the way. So just a thought, when you set up yours in the future, the leg stands really are a good bonus plus. They do make things a lot easier for even balancing and setting up your sluice too. Travis is taking a well-deserved break. That water's so cold, it's actually giving him a brain freeze. Got to be aware of that and be careful. Don't overwork yourself, guys. Hypothermia is real, and you just don't want to have a headache for the rest of the day. Anyways, so we've idled down, refueled the Jenny, let Travis take a little break. Not the Jenny, that's a pump. And I also kind of just wanted to see if we might see anything in the Mets. You're seeing this as I'm walking down on it the first time too. Mats are definitely doing their job. You can see stuff is getting caught, but there's still blank spots, so it's cleaning as it should. I'm not seeing anything obvious poking out yet. We did actually finally hit bedrock over there. There might be a couple small pieces in that siding mat. I think we'll have us a little safety meeting and get back to it. Alright, we're getting ready to call it a day, start our cleanup here. Travis has spent a good 3 hours in that freezing cold water. Thanks, buddy, for pulling all the hard labor today. I really do want to go with that jet flare. Hopefully we can upgrade to one of those soon. Seems to be kind of the lesson learned today. We kind of have an idea about some alterations to make to our hopper box, so we'll come back to that later if we do, because of the blowouts and the surges. But as I can see, I want to show you here, there are actually still plenty of blonde sands, lights, caught in these upper riffles. So, hopefully it didn't blow anything out, but it does seem the jet flares are going to be the better way to go, so you're just getting that same constant flow the entire way through. So we're just going to let this run, clean out a little bit, let Travis get warmed up, and we'll clean it out and see what we got. Oh, we got the sluice all broke down, material all in the pen out of the gold hog mat. Travis is panning down the last of it right now. Hopefully there's some shiny in there. better than them. So here's what we came up with today, guys. We got to that bedrock last time we were here, found a nice triangle, and found 2 pickers sitting right on it. And then that bedrock just starts to slant and slant, and just keeps dropping and dropping. So unfortunately, we haven't found any more color in that material, but even more likely, Casey and family have invited us to come back out again and keep chasing that hole. So that's what we're going to do. Thank you guys so much for letting us come out. We're going to keep chasing it and keep going after it. I want to give another shout out to our subscribers. Thanks, guys. With that being said, too, I want to do another giveaway, but the boss says I got to have more subscribers before I can. Mr. Robert Lewis did was our winner at 200 subscribers. Sent him some pay dirt, and there was 0.2 grams of gold in there. So when I get to 500 subscribers with some pay dirt, it would make sense to have a half a gram of gold in there, wouldn't it? It would. So help us get to 500 subscribers. More subscribers, what that means for you guys, it means more giveaways, more stuff that we can do for you guys. What it means for us, what you're doing for us, you guys are helping us achieve our goals. We dream big. I want to go to Alaska. I want to dredge there with Mr. Dakota Fred. I want to go to Australia, meet up with, who is it out there in Australia? Mr. Vogos. I'd love to go out there and meet him. Got to get up to Canada with Dan Hurd and Paulie. So big goals, guys. Help us reach them. We greatly appreciate you. I think that's going to do it for us today. You got anything else, production? Alright, guys, as always, most importantly, we really appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. We hope you like what you see today and what you're in that subscription. But as always, get that shiny.